Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive.
We talk a lot about building your network, and
Hmm.
we always get questions from you about, how to actually do it effectively.
For sure.
So that's what we're diving into today.
Awesome.
How do you make those connections that actually matter?
Right, right.
So someone reached out, actually, a lot of people about, feeling like they're not making the most of networking opportunities. They
Yeah.
go to these events or they, send messages on LinkedIn, and it just kind of goes nowhere.
It can be such a black hole
Oh,
sometimes.
totally. And it's like,
Yeah.
what's the point then?
Exactly.
So we found this really interesting article.
Yeah.
It's from a career development expert, and they break down these five key tips for effective networking. I'm excited to get your take on this because you're kind of the networking guru, right?
Well, I don't know about that, but I've definitely learned a few things along the way, so
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
happy to share.
All right, so tip number 1, be genuine.
Hmm.
It sounds so obvious, right?
It does, yeah.
But why is that so important, especially in a professional context?
Well, I think it comes down to building relationships, right?
Right.
It's not just about collecting business cards or LinkedIn connections.
Right.
It's about actually connecting with people on a human level.
Okay.
And when you're genuine, when you're authentically yourself,
Hmm.
it allows other people to do the same, right?
Yeah, makes sense.
It creates that space for a real connection.
I've been to so many networking events where it feels like everyone's just putting on this act.
Oh, tell me about it.
And it's exhausting. And you walk away and you're like, I don't even remember who that person was.
Totally. Yeah,
What was the point of that whole interaction?
exactly. You want to be memorable for the right reasons.
Yes. Okay, so the next 2 tips are offer value and follow up.
Okay.
I feel like these 2 are kind of a package deal.
Definitely.
What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Because networking is a two-way street.
Right.
It's not just about what you can get out of it, but what you can give.
Okay.
So when you offer value, whether it's, advice, a connection,
Hmm.
maybe an interesting article you read, it shows the other person that you're valuable.
Right.
And it gives them a reason to want to stay in touch.
Okay.
And then following up just kind of cements that interaction.
So, what would be an example of offering value?
Well, let's say you're talking to someone and they mention they're really interested in, I don't know, artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
And you just happen to have read a fascinating article about the latest developments in AI.
Right.
You could say, hey, I remember you mentioning AI. I just read this really interesting article. I'd be happy to share it with you.
Perfect. It's like a natural conversation starter.
Exactly. It shows you were listening.
Right. And then following up, just like, hey, I sent you that article. Hope you find it interesting.
Exactly. Keep the conversation going.
Okay. I love it. Love it.
All right. So the next 2 tips are kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Attend events and use social media. These feel more tactical.
Yeah. I see what you mean.
Like these are the actions you take, right?
Right. Exactly. They're the how to your why. So, you need to be going to industry events, conferences,
Right.
even just local meetups, whatever's relevant to your field,
Mm-hmm.
because that's where you're going to have those face-to-face interactions.
Right.
And then social media, especially LinkedIn,
Yes.
that's where you can really expand your reach.
I feel like that's the superpower of our time.
Oh, absolutely.
Like you can connect with anyone, anywhere in the world.
It's incredible.
But it's not just about randomly sending connection requests, right?
No. It's about being strategic.
Right.
Just like you wouldn't go up to every single person at a conference and strike up a conversation.
Right.
You need to be thoughtful about who you're connecting with online.
Okay, so quality over quantity.
Exactly.
Choose the right events, connect with the right people.
That's it.
Okay, love it.
So to recap those 5 key tips.
Yeah.
Be genuine, offer value, follow up, attend events, and use social media strategically.
Powerful stuff.
Right. They all kind of work together.
Absolutely.
So, any final thoughts for our listeners before we wrap up?
I think the most important thing to remember is that networking is a skill.
Okay.
And like any skill, it takes practice.
Right.
Don't be afraid to start small, experiment, see what works for you.
Hmm.
The more you do it, the more natural it will become.
I love that.
So, listeners, as you navigate the networking world
Think about this.
Yeah.
What is one small action that you can take today?
that aligns with these tips,
Maybe it's sending that one message. Maybe it's signing up for that event.
there you go.
You never know what kind of connection you might spark.
Exactly.
So until next time.